YouTube.
What did
Oh
you
my
do?
God, really?
That was me.
You just froze? We were like, everything's been working great.
You spoke too soon. You jinxed it, motherfucker.
Seriously.
Was my phone? I left my phone here. Was it charging? It's charging through this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're joining us, welcome. We're about to do our Was It Good podcast for Knives Out, the Rian Johnson 2019 thriller.
Whodunit?
Whodunit?
Mystery thriller.
Do we want to test the sound? Make sure we hear it.
I mean, yeah. Yes, it's working.
It's working.
Don't worry, we did get audio for our previous podcast.
Oh, thank God.
For Parasite.
Because you just never know.
I will say again, one audio mess up in about 200 episodes of podcasts. That's not bad.
Hey, congrats, guys. This is episode 69.
Woo! Yeah,
Here, let's
congratulations.
do a cheers.
Pour one for the homies. My
There
glass
we
cup is
go.
empty, but you know,
You know, I'm
No.
drinking coffee. This is my second cup of coffee on an empty stomach.
my
we-
second cup of tea on an empty stomach.
Are we? Oh no, we're definitely changing the name of the company.
I
We're
was-
changing it.
I was thinking of changing my name.
Oh boy.
I think we should change the name of the company to Red Tacos.
Red Redemption.
No.
Red
That's
versus
taken.
blue.
All right, here we go. We're about to start our podcast. Arjuna, fire the cannon. Okay, so we're recording. All right, here we go. In 3,
Give it like
2,
another 5 seconds because it's always weird.
15, 14, 13, 12. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Was It Good? I'm your host, Ravi, and I'm joined by my two brothers, Krishna and Arjuna. We're discussing Rian Johnson's Knives Out, and specifically, for me, if it can ever erase the painful wound that is called The Last Jedi. Spoiler alert, it can't. Also, I do in fact have the high ground. Krishna, you are getting really good at writing my intros.
Yes.
I'm quite enjoying this, actually.
I think I have captured the essence of your voice, and I'm slowly but surely I'm going to evolve it
Mm-hmm.
and trick you. Like I'm going to put in like different phrases and things and mold you slowly but surely into the person I want you to be.
15
This
years.
is really
I'm
fucking
playing
weird.
I'm playing the long game.
Here we go. 11 years after getting a creative writing degree, Krishna has finally found a use for it.
Yes. Writing intros and podcast descriptions.
I love it. And like I said at the top, though, we are doing Knives Out. We are the Was It Good podcast, of course. We start our podcast off with our one-word impressions, kind of summarizing our movie-going experience and the movie itself. Christian, you, I believe, saw this more recently,
Yes.
so you are going to start with your one-word impression.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say unexpected. Unexpected because I honestly didn't think it was going to be that good. I generally am not interested in sort of mysteries. I've never really liked mystery novels. Mystery TV as well, like crime
Crime
mysteries.
drama and stuff?
They don't interest me that much.
They don't tickle your fancy.
They don't. Usually they're boring. The characters are cardboard and one-dimensional. And I'm not going to say that the characters were that three-dimensional in this movie,
Mhm.
Sure.
but there was enough humor and there was enough sort of zaniness.
Sure.
Yeah, uniqueness to it that it kept my interest. And there were actually, I was surprised, like some actual laugh-out-loud moments. And also, I think it's Daniel Craig's best performance, which for me is unexpected because I think he plays a great James Bond. And I would actually say he's a pretty good actor.
Mhm.
So for me to say that this comedic whodunit is his best role, to me is unexpected.
Do you remember his, I think it's like 2005 or something, Layer Cake?
Oh my God,
Yeah.
so good.
Layer Cake, to me, is still his best role ever.
It was good. It was good. To me though, that's like it's very similar to his James Bond.
Yes and no, because that Layer Cake he's explaining, he's the narrator of the story as
Yeah.
well, and then he's kind of putting himself in those situations. James Bond is just,
Yeah, you know.
I don't know, James Bond to me, and this is no disrespect to that. I mean, it's a cult classic, the whole James Bond era of films, but they're all the same. There's
Yeah.
nothing, I can't sit here and tell you.
Who's the best James Bond?
No, because
They're all
they're
the
all the same. It's
Yeah.
all the same story. It's
It means
just-
they've done it.
it's-
It means they did it correctly.
They've done it way too many freaking times.
There's a movie he did a couple years ago called Logan Lucky.
Oh yeah,
That-
yeah.
That was a really.
I never
he's
saw that.
really, really good in that. I thought that might be my favorite Daniel Craig
And we
role.
can't forget the famous Cowboys versus Aliens.
Oh, dude. That movie.
Was bad.
That movie was
I don't
what
remember it.
the fuck?
was it-
I actually don't remember it at all.
Did Daniel Craig do the voice cameo of the Stormtrooper in Force Awakens? or
Force
Last
Awakens.
Jedi?
Force
Oh,
Awakens.
because
Force
if it was Last Jedi,
Awakens,
hit the
yeah.
Ryan Johnson connection.
Oh, yeah, but no.
Arjuna.
I'm gonna go with Masshole.
Masshole.
And
Because
yes.
this takes place in
This
Massachusetts.
takes place in Massachusetts, and there's a lot of, Chris Evans is from Massachusetts.
Is Chris Evans really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a Patriots fan?
Yes, he is.
Wow.
Years
Actually,
ago.
quick fun story.
Yeah.
One of my friends who lives there
Is
lives,
it Dan?
Dan, his sister Jessica, I think, used to go to a dentist, and that dentist is Chris Evans' dad.
Right.
Which is pretty
Oh
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
anything to put Dan in your everyday life, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Shout out to Dan.
Shout out to Dan. Dan,
You're a good man.
thanks
Dan.
for being Dan.
Dan the man.
But actually, so Chris Evans and Chris Pratt 5 years ago during Super Bowl 49 when the Patriots versus the Seahawks.
Mm.
Chris Pratt's a big Seahawks fan.
Oh, I
Chris
remember
Evans
that.
is a big
Yep.
Patriots fan.
Yep.
The loser had to dress up as a character. The loser whoever lost the game had to go to a children's hospital in their city dressed up as their character. So because the Seahawks lost, Chris Pratt dressed up as Star-Lord and went to the Boston's Children's Hospital.
Which I
And
think is cool.
Chris Evans ended up dressing up as Captain America too, and they both did it together.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, so
Masshole.
I say masshole just because it's funny because I think when 99% of people think of Massachusetts, they think Boston, right?
Yeah.
They think the hard accent, they think this and that. But this shows like the majority of Massachusetts, right, which is very like rural and it's very just those we've all lived around there and been around there. It's like it's that type of,
Person.
and that people and that feel, that New Englandy feel is very much that is actually the majority of Massachusetts, not Boston. So
I mean, there's that term, East Coast elitist.
yes.
And that definitely.
Yeah.
That definitely was
And that
portrayed
to
in
me,
this film.
Yeah.
And that's me like growing up in that area. That's masshole, right?
Yeah.
Not like Boston's a certain type of masshole, but
Yeah.
like that's the true like masshole New England.
Yeah. Sorry, I meant Northeast elitist.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Like Harvard and all
Yes.
those,
Yeah.
famous
Mhm.
New England schools or whatnot.
So my one-word impression is going to be, you ready for this one? You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Leaves.
Leaves?
Yes. Like the leaf from a tree.
There's a lot of foliage.
But multiple, but leaves. And it's going to be like a double meaning.
Entendre.
A double entendre where number one, it's the New England foliage, whatever the fucking word is. New England stuff. There's a lot of that in the movie. It's actually kind of partly intertwined in terms of telling the story because of the leaves and the foots and all that fun stuff. But then also leaves in the sense of I wanted to leave the theater because this movie was so.
It was
not.
long
It was long.
for
It
you.
was so long, and I had to
Mm.
pee.
Oh, well. That's a rookie
was-
mistake.
I want to be very specific with the level of having to pee that I felt because I've not felt this level of having to pee during a movie since a little known small movie called Rogue One.
Mm.
I had to really pee during that, and I'm starting to wonder as I do some self analysis. Is me needing to pee ruining my movies experiences?
Might be. There was one. The one and only movie I can remember where I actually had to get up and pee because I had to pee so badly was Spider-Man: Homecoming.
That movie was stupid.
Yeah, so you didn't miss
movies, right?
anything.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. I mean,
That's
a Marvel movie I think is the perfect and easy movie
true.
to like just walk out
It's true.
at any point because you know what? Doesn't mean shit.
You're going to be able to pick up the plot no matter
So
where.
easily.
It's an easy plot.
So
yeah.
our sentence, it always doesn't work when we do our one-word impression, but there is a sentence out of this one. Unexpected masshole leaves.
That's good.
Well, we'll call them the leaves a bunch of massholes. I like that.
I like it.
Massholes leaves.
I-
Masshole leaves.
Or if you use
Like
it as
it.
like leaving, the masshole leaves.
Oh, unexpected
Masshole leaves.
masshole leaves. Oh, yeah.
So to jog our memories and kind of help us remember what the fuck happened in this movie, our great producer here, Arjuna, does his, and I want to emphasize this, it is his retelling of what happened. Not mine, not Krishna's, not a robot. It is Arjuna's weird, fucked up brain.
Nice.
Here we go.
This is Knives Out.
Knives out. Oh, he dared.
You have to do the accent.
Who the fuck did it? Everybody lies. Bond. James Bond. The nurse is innocent. She definitely didn't do it. Oh, she actually did it. Damn. Uncovering and covering tracks. That's America's ass. Now she gets everything. Guilty. Cap is such a good guy. Get out of get out of our country. Yep. Fire and Spider. I confess. Oh, but Captain America was part of Hydra all along. Sipping on gin and juice.
I like that.
It was good. It's
Yeah,
concise.
you've actually had 2 in a row now. That made sense
Wow.
and weren't that bad.
It's I think it's with time. If it's immediately after,
Yeah.
it's maybe too obscure. But when I have had time,
Until I
Oh,
process it.
yeah.
That makes sense.
It becomes real in your brain.
becomes good.
Yeah.
Becomes
It
good.
becomes good. Yeah. I like that.
It's actually funny. So, Arjun, like going back and looking over what happened, obviously, Arjun, I think you said this before we actually started the podcast about how this is the classic whodunit tale. And I think you said this film turns it on its head because, like you said in the outline, we actually know who did it pretty early on. We know
Yeah.
the truth very, very quickly, which is interesting.
Which it's fascinating because it just comes at you. There's no warning about it. You kind of it's interesting because when you have the classic whodunit, they give the interviews and you kind of poke holes and then you find out later. But this movie, how it introduces each character you meet, you hear their version of the tale, and then you actually see what actually happened.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
they do that with the main character, Marta, who is the nurse. And you see that because of the series of mistakes, she was the person that potentially killed the guy, Christopher Plummer.
Right.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
What? What? Unbelievable.
I can't believe it.
And then the twist being that it was manipulated by Chris Evans' character.
Yeah, which is the real, like, oh my God
Yeah.
type moment and
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Right.
And it's all determined by Daniel Craig's character, who, jumping into our, favorite, least favorite, I'm going to say right off the bat, Daniel Craig was my favorite part.
Benoit Blanc.
Because it wasn't like the typical kind of, it wasn't the typical Daniel Craig, cool, collected guy, knows everything. He legitimately had no idea at parts of what the fuck was happening.
And he actually makes mistakes.
And he makes mistakes. Yeah,
In
he
fact-
was a believable, detective,
Yeah.
essentially.
And actually, right before the end, he comes across as grossly incompetent. Like, before he reveals the whole thing, you're like, wow, this guy's actually an idiot. Which I thought was great. And he's like, and he takes it right in stride, too. Like, I like that the character himself didn't have a big ego. He's like, yeah, I'm not that good at this. Sometimes, love it.
Yeah. My favorite part is related to Benoit. It's a specific moment when Marta is trying to find the housekeeper. And she finds her knocked unconscious, and he's just waiting in the car, right?
Yep.
And like he's just singing along to his little
Oh,
Walkman
my God.
and things like he's like do and it's just like it's just like what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, oh shit. He just, like runs out of the car.
That's my favorite part
Amazing.
because I feel like they just let Daniel Craig kind of like riff and like
Yeah, which is
it was
great.
just such a great moment. Like I think I was legitimately laughing out loud at that. He's like do.
I have 2 favorite parts.
You can only have one. It's called favorite. Favorite doesn't mean multiple.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with my second favorite and then my main favorite. So my second favorite part, again, kind of like Daniel Craig, is his whole explanation of it's a circle. This case is like a donut. There's a hole in the middle, and then a little bit later, he's like, but the donut is filled with another donut.
Yep.
And the problem with that is that the second donut has a hole in its center. There's a hole in the center. He's like trying to figure it out. So the whole donut metaphor, incredible. Daniel Craig killed it. And at first it comes off, I thought it was like a little bit of a stretch. But then the fact that they went even further and they just kept going with, there's a donut in the middle of that donut, it redeemed the metaphor for me. Because at first I was like, this is lame. But then it was good.
Then it works.
I think my favorite part is actually me, Christopher Plummer. I love Christopher Plummer. He is great. He is great in everything he does. and I thought he played his role spectacularly.
Harlan Thrombey.
Yeah, Holland
Specifically,
Thrombey.
I think like that the whole sequence when he realizes, oh shit, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, and the
That
fact
was like
yeah, and that
cool, calm, and collected.
he was still coming at it as a mystery writer, and he was still like, this is actually a great way to kill someone. It's like writing it down, and I thought it was well played. That was a really perfect casting choice for the central dead person in this movie.
Speaking on casting, like this film is filled with people, like growing from Daniel Craig, Chris
Jamie Lee
Evans,
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis
She was
is in
great.
there.
She was great.
Is there anyone that kind of stood out where it was like they shouldn't have been in it, didn't work?
Well, one character I was surprised by because I think we were watching Watchmen at the time, but it was Jamie Lee Curtis's husband because he is the sheriff from Watchmen.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a great job too. Cause, and it's funny because the only thing I'd really seen him in was Watchmen, so I'm like, he's a racist sheriff.
And he plays not racist, but he's definitely
get out of my country.
Yeah, what was that whole family? Yeah.
The whole family was messed up.
But like I thought he actually did a good job. Like I thought the actor did a good job of differentiating from like this one character that I had known and just kind of playing this like goofy dad. And then I thought Michael Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, he's so
I thought
good.
he did a great job.
Michael Shannon plays asshole so
Great,
well.
Really great.
So well. Like he's Zod.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm,
He's also in
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water
He's great.
as an asshole.
Yeah.
He's in this as an asshole.
Yeah.
Like
the thing what was different though about this performance from the other ones is that I felt bad for him. I was like, like those other two characters are almost irredeemable. Like there's really nothing there that you like about it. He just does a great job playing total asshole. He can also play half an asshole.
Yeah.
Like this guy was like half an asshole, but you also felt somewhat bad for him too. At least I did.
I don't honestly. I thought Ana de Armas, who played Marta, also did a really good job.
Amazing.
She's the main character. She like you're across from a lot of these big name actors. She's she's a relatively new actress. Like I think her biggest thing since this had been as the AI in Blade Runner 2049.
Right. She's actually also in the new James Bond. No
oh
Time
wow!
to Die.
Really interesting.
Yeah, I have her IMDb page up.
So Ryan Johnson actually said that the first person he recruited for the movie was Daniel Craig. And so people were like, how did you get this amazing cast? And he's like, I got to give it all to Daniel Craig. Like, he was the first one I got, and then he was able to recruit, like, all of these people. And he's like, I was surprised.
Do you think he did it like Samuel L. Jackson at the end of Iron Man? I have a new initiative for you.
Yeah.
The Knives Out initiative.
Ryan Johnson was just like, everybody was like, yeah, I want to work with Daniel Craig. So he just must have a reputation of, like, people really, for some reason, like, really wanted to work with
Do you think it's because he's British?
No. It's probably because he's like a great person.
Like he's a
Maybe.
good human being?
Yeah. Which is rare.
Which is just rare.
It's rare.
It's a rare quality.
Also, there was a cameo in this
Let's
movie.
pause real quick. I'm getting weird feedback.
I am not.
You didn't hear that? I was hearing like some weird echo thing.
Oh, no, I'm not hearing that.
Okay. Then
I've had that before with some of the...
because everything's crisscrossing and going
Yeah.
crazy. You know, Brett would be really, really upset if he saw that setup.
That's true.
We just should bring him in and have him... Hey, Brett, if you're listening, can you come and redo our set thing?
He's not. Oh. Anyways, you said cameo.
So there is a cameo in this movie. Ryan Johnson collaborator, who I think is in almost every...
Was it J.J. Abrams? Because those two love each other.
No, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
What?
Wait, when does he show up?
He has a voice cameo as
Oh.
Detective Hard Rock.
When's Detective?
Yeah,
Hard
when's
Rock?
Detective
It's
Hard Rock?
just one of the detectives on the phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
Yeah, it'd been better for you.
Sets up the sequel,
If
man.
it was dressed up as,
Arjuna, that fact that you dropped was so bad.
It was.
I actually want you to go back when you're cutting this and take it out.
I'm going to put it at
It's
the beginning.
that bad.
It's so good, I'm going to put it at the beginning
Anticlimactic.
and the end of the episode.
Oh my god. All right, does anyone have a least favorite part? Because I definitely do.
Then you should
Go
go.
for
I'm gonna go. Ready? It's the pacing and the length of this fucking thing.
Mm.
I like what they did.
Yep.
But it's just too much, and it's too much to the point where now that I've seen it once through and I know what's what, I don't force. And spoiler for my end result here in terms of will I watch it again? I don't know if I'd actually bother watching it again because it's long. It's very, very long, and it's not done in a way. When you watch it again, you're necessarily going to pick up on new things or even care. Because a lot of it is, in my opinion, fluff.
Yeah.
from the perspective of like, yes, his character development and blah blah blah, but at some point you're like, yes, I understand this character's this, that, and whatever. Like, cool, whatever. Like, speed things up a little bit here so that we can kind of move on. Do we know what the runtime is? 2 hours and 20?
19
The
minutes?
hour,
Sounds-
the runtime of the movie is 130 minutes, so 2 hours and 10 minutes.
That's way too long.
Yeah.
You could have told that story in 140 minutes or 1 hour and 40 minutes. Easy.
Wow.
45.
Probably. Yeah.
That was my least favorite part.
Interesting. Very interesting. Christian?
I'm sure I do have a least favorite part, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So why don't you go first, Junior?
That's funny because I was not prepared for this least favorite part.
yeah, we should be.
But
we know
no,
it's coming.
I think my least favorite part is the Chris Evans twist.
Huh.
I thought it was telegraphed too much.
Too obvious.
It's easy to figure out, or at least for me, it was easy to figure out as soon as and you see it in the trailer actually, the dog's barking at him.
Mm-hmm.
So they specifically go through the details of the night, but like the dog's barked at like blah 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 time, and then as soon as he comes, the dogs are nice to everyone in the family, even the investigators, and then they bark at Chris Evans' character. So like, he snuck back in at some point and did something and was covering his tracks. So I'm like, he either like tried to kill him or poisoned him or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the trailers give it away easily, and,
Yeah.
and the movie's presented in such a way where you're like, yeah, he's clearly the asshole.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's duh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like and that's what like lessens the impact of the scene between Marta and Hugh at the diner where he's like, I'm gonna help you. You know, I was like, well, I don't already buy this.
Yeah.
So then it like just
I want to scream at Marta and be like, just watch the trailer, Marta. You will know that he's bad.
he's a bad he's not Captain America no more.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
He's Captain Master.
Do you think like Chris Evans, like they presented to him and before like they're like, you basically are an asshole? Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh,
'Cause he's been doing Captain
trying to get
America for
away-
so long.
Yeah, he's trying to get away
I
from
mean,
the
it's
good boy
it's
image.
c- it's trying to get that's how you get out of typecasting. Play opposites of what you've been playing.
Yeah, big
So
time.
this is a complete opposite of Captain America.
Yeah. He did a good job. I thought he did a great job.
Not as good as Daniel Craig though.
Not
Sure.
good as Benoit Blanc.
I'm gonna say my least favorite part was giving Mata the sickness, the thing of where she throws up every time she tells a lie.
Oh.
That it was a little bit of a stretch, and I feel like they could have probably told. I understand it was used at certain moments to, in the beginning, it seemed like to establish that she's incapable of lying, so everything she's gonna say
It's legit.
is legit, and therefore also what we see of her is legit as well. Like everything we see through her eyes, we have to take at face value. But the conclusion is that she's a generally good person, and so I feel like maybe we could have done it in such a way without it. It just seemed too convenient as well, like too much of a gimmick in the movie, and just not like what are the odds that you have this murder mystery and a central suspect / person around the case, throws up every time she tells a lie. It's just too much. I understand the movie's not trying to go for 100% believability
Sure,
or reality,
yeah.
but it just felt like too much of a gimmick to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Is it though?
My least favorite. I want to change my least favorite part.
Oh, sorry.
My least favorite part is Christian's answer.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
My favorite part is you wearing a Celtics hat inside.
You
And
know,
not just a hat; it's a beanie.
it's part of because it takes place in Massachusetts, and the Celtics.
So it's
are
part of
a
our set design.
Massachusetts team.
Junior, the reason you're wearing it is because you have bad hair.
No,
Those are your words.
I don't have bad hair. I have
You
great
said
hair.
that before.
That's
Not on recording.
So it doesn't
how do we know
happen?
if it's true? You could just be lying right now.
So here's one area that Arjun, I'm looking at our outline real quick. You are aware under critic score you put a $, right, in front of the number.
Nice.
I like that.
It's confusing. Anyway,
$97?
97% on Rotten Tomatoes. That feels way too fucking high. That feels like Ryan Johnson went to the critics and was like, "Give me a really high score, and I will give you an In-N-Out gift card."
Ryan Johnson is kind of becoming like a Hollywood darling, like a Scorsese, like a Quentin Tarantino.
Then why did he fuck up Star Wars so badly?
Some people
But-
will argue with you.
But most critics feel
Like
like
it's the best one.
most critics feel like that's a very good film. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying?
What,
Like,
Knives Out? Well, it's because it's Oscar bait.
No, but
It's not though.
But he makes like technically very good movies, right? And like the Hollywood elitists really like these types of movies. Like that's why people that's why Hollywood elitists, right, or movie critics really love The Last Jedi. Why they really love Looper, why they really love Knives Out, because it's like, oh, this is such a well-made film, and it's all about the classic film. And same thing with Quentin Tarantino, right? Like, that guy can do no wrong. He's like, oh my God, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh my God, everything's so. Oh yeah. You know what I mean?
What's happening right
I think
now?
he's trying to stimulate ejaculation
I don't know what.
through his microphone, which is uncomfortable. Please stop.
Yeah, please stop.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's so high. I agree with you. I don't think it's a 97%. If I had to give it the Rotten Tomato percentage, I'd probably give it like
80.
an 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like
an
a
80 to
comfortable
85.
80.
I would say
feels
75, 80 for sure. Yeah. Like, but 97, like Parasite is
99.
99. The podcast we did. If you haven't heard it yet, we did a Parasite podcast. You can listen to that now on iTunes or Spotify
Or wherever you get your podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just it's like Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow having an 82%.
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
bizarre. That is bizarre.
So a $40 million budget, and it ended up at just below $280 million worldwide.
It's very good. Very
It's
good.
pretty good
that
for
type of movie.
these guys and gals. They
Yep.
got a nice fat check out of it. And then the fun fact, a sequel.
Yes.
Why?
Well,
Because Daniel Craig, I guess
Benoit Blanc.
I'm shooting myself in the foot. I guess I would want to see more of that character because
Yes.
he was interesting, and it was the thing that kind of kept me interested in the film.
Sure.
So
I think it's definitely the breakout part of the movie. But here's the because we're nerdy type of people, there's implications to this. Rian Johnson is apparently deep into production on this sequel. What do we also know about Rian Johnson? He's supposed to be writing and directing a trilogy of Star Wars movies.
Well, that keeps going back and forth because remember, Kathleen Kennedy said no more trilogies.
Right.
So if that's the case, then he's not working on a trilogy.
Right.
So he may be working on a film.
Yeah.
But
And
at the
hoping to
very
get-
least,
hoping to get greenlit.
at the very least, though, we're not seeing a new Star Wars film until like 2023, 2024.
2022. That's in 2 years.
That's forever away.
You still need to start pre-production pretty quickly. But with this evidence, if this is Rian Johnson's next movie,
Mm-hmm.
you can now eliminate. It's not the Game of Thrones guys because they're out for the 2022 movie. It's not Rian Johnson
Because
for
he's
this
working on the
2022
sequel.
movie. Who is making this 2022?
Guys,
Star Wars
I
movie?
have something I need to tell you. They reached out to me, and I said no. I would never work with such a stupid company.
Well,
So I
now
turned it down.
the latest rumor has been because remember Kevin Feige wants to produce a Star Wars movie, and there have been recent reports that a Rian Johnson collaborator and friend, Taika Waititi, has been reached out to direct a Star Wars movie, and that
I'm sorry.
2020
Is this podcast on Star Wars or Knives Out?
it's all gonna connect. Don't worry,
Oh, fuck off.
because Chris Evans. No,
Because they would play young Luke Skywalker. Wait,
What? I thought it was going to be Sebastian Stan. Anyway, back to Knives Out. God damn it.
yes.
So Knives Out.
Sequel.
So he's making a sequel. I guess that's interesting. If he's going to make a sequel, can we limit his runtime to an hour and 45 minutes?
Never
or
gonna
less?
happen.
Please?
It won't.
But I
Please.
mean, most movies are 2 hours. these
No.
days.
Ryan has a pacing issue.
I
you
have
have
a-
to limit him.
I have a suggestion to get around that. So I like this movie, spoiler alert, but I'm really glad I did not see it in theaters for the simple fact that I could pause it and go pee when I wanted. Right?
How did you see it then, Christian? Because the movie hasn't come out on DVD.
I will not say how I was, but it is not illegal. I will say that.
That's true.
So I borrowed a screener. Oh no! Actually, I have a bigger reveal. I'm part of the Academy, and I get screeners because I am one of the judges.
He's part of the Screen Actors. I mean, the Writers Guild.
Uh-huh.
He got in
Because he writes our intros.
He got his writer's credit because he writes the intro.
Oh my
For this
God.
podcast.
Amazing. But yeah, I watched it. So my suggestion would be for the sequel.
Don't
see
see
it
it
on Netflix, and you'll enjoy it a lot more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Is it that time?
Well, did we want to talk about the?
She just blew through this
I
fucking
don't know if
podcast.
that's really.
Well,
yeah.
no, there's one other thing.
One other thing.
There is for our recent podcast, we have been talking about the Oscars. That is coming up, and there was.
Dun, 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 dun. Is that the Oscar theme?
That was graduation. That's the graduation song.
Oh boy.
So anyway,
There is one Oscar for this. It's been only
are
nominated.
you trying to
for
take
one.
my job right now? I'm the fucking host. So, the Oscar nom-
But Arjuna is the parasite.
What?
From the year 19?
This is when you run into like doing too many podcasts
And the same day? Yeah. Oh, spoiler alert.
So, the Oscar nomination that this film picked up or is nominated for is Best Original Screenplay.
Yeah. I think it deserves the nomination for sure. It does not deserve the win.
Thank you, and you know why, right?
No.
Well, we're gonna use the point that you made in an earlier podcast about original screenplay.
Yeah.
Specifically, you had said something along the lines. Was it you or was it you? You
Oh,
two
me
confused
about Marriage Story.
About Marriage Story and how like we've
Oh,
seen
that was
that.
him.
Oh, see, I confused my own brothers. That's great. How
You see
Marriage Story
You've
is just a
seen
repeat.
Marriage Story.
This
You've seen Mysteries before.
we've
Yeah.
seen mysteries
Yeah,
tons
yeah.
of times.
No, but we've also seen what Parasite is, and so to play
Sure.
devil's advocate, this did do the mystery in a very different way,
True.
in a way that kept me interested. Personally, is not
right.
interested in mysteries.
And I agree with you. I think it definitely deserves a nomination. And in other years, it probably would have a chance to win. I
For
just
sure.
think there's some heavy hitters for original screenplay.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about on previous podcasts. I think it's got to be Parasite.
Yeah.
That wins it. And I would be shocked if it doesn't win, but we'll see. The question I have for you guys with Oscar nominations, and people have talked about this, did it deserve more Oscar nominations? A lot of people felt it should have been nominated, because before the Oscar nominations came out, a lot of people said it's going to be nominated for Best Picture,
No.
it's going to be nominated for Best Director.
No.
What do you guys think?
No. I think best original screenplay is perfect for it. If I knew more about technical stuff, I was like maybe throw it in there.
I would say
it
like
seemed well edited, but
production design. I would definitely.
Cinematography, too, is pretty good.
Cinematography was kind of boring.
I thought
Like
it
the
was
shots
sharp,
were
honestly.
super simple. There wasn't anything that was like,
it
whoa,
blew your mind.
nothing blew my mind.
Set design was cool.
Yeah.
Like the house itself was cool. The interior
Yeah,
design was really interesting. That knife, it reminded me of the Game of Thrones
Throne.
throne. That big knife thing. I was like, that's a great prop.
Yeah,
I'd love to have that in our place, but
we probably stab ourselves.
yeah.
Well, most
they're
of them are
trick.
fake
They're
knives.
trick. So, but outside
Spoiler.
outside of those two things, though, no.
Yeah, same.
Interesting.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, do you think it deserved anything else?
I think best cinematography. I think some of I disagree with your point of
Your point? No.
I thought some of the shots were interesting, and well done. And I thought I think elite cinematography helps tell the story, and I thought cinematography played a big part in telling this story. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like probably same with you guys. Maybe like production design.
Best international film.
Oh,
Wait,
God.
what? Why would
It should be nominated for best international because it's Massachusetts, right? And those people are
Right.
fucking far into America.
Yeah, I mean they are
Boy.
a unique brand.
Yes,
So
they
it's
are.
for
Very,
sure.
very unique group of
But
people.
yeah, best. I mean, I could. I mean, looking at the best picture nominations, like I might put it above some of the other ones, but I don't know. I don't think it really deserves it, to be honest. And it certainly wouldn't win. And best director, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Put him up there either.
Agreed. Cool.
Because just like, all right, I'm done with this.
Yeah. I think it's ready. It's time.
I think it is.
Ravi,
Yes.
should Arjuna go first on this?
Krishna. I don't think so.
Arjuna, was Knives Out good?
Yes, it was. I enjoyed the movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think Rian Johnson is a good, not great director. And
Oh.
but I do think this is one of his better movies in his filmography. I liked it more than Looper,
Agreed.
and I think I liked it more than Last Jedi as well.
You didn't like Looper because you didn't understand time travel. Because no one understands time travel because it's fake.
I didn't like Looper because I thought they made Joseph Gordon-Levitt's eyes too close together.
Fuck! What a reason. Love it.
His eyes looked messed up,
Narrow
and
set eyes.
I just kept staring at his face the whole time. That's my reason.
All right.
No,
Right.
but yes, I think it is good.
Okay.
Ravi, was Knives Out good?
No. The pacing was the biggest issue, and then if I can't go and watch a movie again, then it's not good. A movie needs to be looked at multiple viewings, multiple times, get something new. This is unfortunately a one and done. Once you get the big reveal, you're like, cool, thanks.
I think your bladder is what betrayed you on this. Because you're always going to have that memory of a full,
Bladder?
painful
Bladder?
Yeah.
Krishna, was Knives In good?
Knives In. I don't know what that is. I never saw that. Knives Out was good. And that's surprising for me because I actually didn't want to like this movie. I thought I wouldn't like it. I thought it was going to be a mediocre piece of poo. But I actually enjoyed it a lot. I was surprised by how much I did enjoy it, how much it made me laugh, and how much it kept my interest throughout.
Now, here's my interesting question. Would you watch this movie again?
I just said no.
Wow, it's not about you, Abby.
Yes,
I was
it is.
actually I'm curious about Christian's question.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe next time you should say Krishna.
Why don't you just shut the fuck up?
Why didn't you let him answer?
Whoa,
Let the boy speak.
And that's it for our show today.
Thank you.
Interesting. Unanswered
Krish,
question.
can you hurry up?
Wow.
Answer the damn question.
Surprisingly, yes, I would watch it again, but the reason is mostly for the performances.
Yeah.
Christopher Plummer, Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, and the incomparable Daniel Day-Lewis, who was
Daniel
a tree.
Day-Lewis, huh?
He was a tree, and we didn't even know it. Just kidding. Daniel Craig.
I thought for a second, wait, he was in it. I was like, holy shit, I missed that.
He's the greatest actor of our generation. So
he
He
played
was
a tree.
Marta. He was the
He was
nurse.
Marta.
he playing an actress playing another character.
I'm a dude playing a dude pretending to be another dude.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think that was a very quick and precise podcast.
Knives Out.
I like it too.
Where do you direct a sequel?
Oh, for the love of God, I'm not looking for that. Thank you for listening. As always, you can find us on Twitter at WasItGood. You can find us on Instagram at WasItGoodBTM. On Twitch, twitch.tv/WasItGood. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and all that crap. Goodbye.
And that's the end of the record. We're still streaming.
So for our man, this is really irritating.
What?
Well, you're hearing that feedback?
That like buzzing. Unless this,
I
we'll look
can't
at
hear
later.
it.
Well, I can hear it.
I've heard that before though, and it's just I think it's probably this.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So for the first video, we'll do our Juno on Hollywood Elites. The second one, the discussion about original screenplay,
Nice.
because Arjuna basically had a stroke on camera.
Yes. He had a connection.
And then IGTV, I think we could do our one-word impression, that whole chunk.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Nice.
Leaves, mass hole, and
How long
Unexpected?
was the recording?
35 minutes.
love it.
Shit.
Honestly, don't shy away from short ones. That's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes people will look at the one and be like, I have a 20-minute car ride. Perfect. And they'll listen
That's
to
true.
it. So
And it's
to
variety.
run the gamut.
We're still streaming. Do we need to answer any questions?
There were no questions. I'm getting the impression MLK Day is not a good day for streaming. Because everyone is too busy observing the holiday.
Everyone's getting Chinese food.
Oh, hey, we're about to go
Is
get
that
Chinese
a
food.
thing?
I guess we could tell Mom and Dad like 3:30 because I'm ready to go. I am starving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.